Welcome to the PlansMachine Quick Start video tutorial. First of all, we'll just focus on the tools here, which are what we use to draw the floor plans with. Then we have the commands, which is what we use to edit what we've drawn. We click on any of the buttons for the tools or commands. They will change purple, indicating that that particular tool is ready to be used. We start drawing the floor plans with the draw tool. We simply do it like that by left clicking the mouse and drawing the walls out. Now the walls can be drawn on 30 or 45 degree angles as well as right angles, and for the purpose of this demonstration I'll just make a small simple house like that. We can put our internal walls in exactly the same, and there's our walls. Now with the walls we can click the move tool and we can move them, or we can click the select tool and then click on a wall, then click on the dimension for that wall. Oops, I'll do that again. We'll click on the wall and then on the dimension for the wall, and it shows up down here in the dimension box, and then we can exact our dimensions with that if we so desire. We can also delete walls, and then we can undo or redo. So with the undo we can pretty much undo everything we've done all the way to the beginning and then redo it back to whatever we wanted if we have accidentally undone something or deleted something. Right, next once we've got the walls all sorted exactly how we want them there, we will put the windows in, which we can choose aluminium windows or wooden windows. Our visual window picker allows us to choose what window design we want. We may put it in there, click select, click on it, and then go and edit its size or center its opening. We can also move it with the move tool and select it, as I said before, click on it and then center its openings. Now we can do the same thing for the doors as well here, except for the doors we have a range of 6 different kinds of doors. So we'll take an aluminium front door, we'll go to the visual door picker, we'll choose that one, and we'll put it there. Now again we can go and select it and center it, and also alter its sizes, or we can delete it and replace it with a different kind of door. Now we also with doors have the internal doors, which we'll get from this drop down list here. Go to internal doors, and then with the visual door picker we can put an internal door in there, or we can go and put an internal cavity slider in there. Now with these, again, we can select them, change their sizes, get the move tool, move them around, select them and click on them and center their openings, but we can also rotate them. So if we have a look at this door here, we can put it on all 4 of its swing angles, or the sliding door we can change which cavity it slides into, and that's basically the short story with the doors. Next we can put units in there, which are all of the things that are shown in this visual display picker. We'll just take a toilet for example and we'll put it there. We can grab the move tool and slide it round where we want, as you'll see it clicks onto the walls automatically. Again, we can rotate it into any of the 4 directions we want, and then we can move it accordingly where we want along that wall. Now if I was to take a kitchen sink for example and put that on this wall, I can move it to wherever I would like it to be, say there for example. Then by clicking on select I can then get the side of it and drag it out to whatever width I would desire it to be. Then of course you can click the move tool and plonk it into location. The next thing to do is to label our rooms, which is obviously done with the room labels tool. Within it we have a drop down list of all of the different names that you could call a room. We'll take living, and we can have that in small, medium or large text size. So I'll just choose medium there, put it in there, and we can move it around wherever we want, or rotate it if need be and move it to where we would like it to be. The walls is to be done next, which we can click on the wall button, and in the walls you can see that you can adjust the stud height to any of its 3 preset heights, the foundation heights, or you can choose the number of claddings. Now if we're choosing one cladding just for a start, we can go on and select it from this list of the most popular and common cladding types used in New Zealand. We'll click bevel back weatherboards, for example, and then click apply. Now we've just placed the bevel back weatherboard cladding onto the floor plan, which you can see is the outer line on the walls. Now with that, we can now go to the elevations, and that will generate our 4 pictures, your north, south, east and west. Looking pretty bland there because we haven't put all the doors and windows as yet. Now we could change that cladding to plywood and batten, for example. Click apply. Then we can look at our elevations again and see if we like the look of that on our house. In fact, we can go through all of them and see what that looks like on our house. If we want to have 2 claddings, then we click 2 claddings and a second one will show up. Now I will set that one for double height bricks, and we'll put panels above their openings, but next we need to choose where they're going to be. So just for example's sake, we'll say we want it between there, and we can click apply, and that's where our bricks will be inserted into our plywood and batten cladding. We can look at the elevations for that, have a look at the south wall, and you can see what it looks like with the bricks in that particular point. So that takes care of the walls. Selecting the roof tool will give us the option to have either hip rafters or gable ends on the ends of our walls, or the whole roof to be a flat roof. Now the default is for hip rafters, as you can see here. If we want to put gable ends on there, we click the gable ends, we click the wall that we want it to go on, and then we click apply, and there it will be, our gable end. If we want to have a flat roof, we click flat roof and we click the low side of the flat roof, then click apply, and there it shall be. We can also set the side soffits, the high side soffit or the low side soffit for the flat roof, and of course we have those options available for the soffits for the gable ends and the hip rafters as well. We can adjust our roof pitch here, and we can select what we're going to clad the roof with the visual display picker, whether it be corrugated iron, trapezoid or colour steel or pressed metal tiles. So just select corrugated iron there. We will go and put a gable end on here, click apply, we'll leave it at roof pitch at 25 degrees, and we'll have a look and see what that looks like. So our 4 elevation pictures again are now displaying our roof cladding and our roof style onto it. Now we'll see up here on the gable ends that we have a choice of being able to choose what cladding it's going to be as well. So if I, for example, was to put bevel back weatherboards up there, and we have a look at that, make sure I clicked apply, the elevations, then we can see our bevel back weatherboards up there in our gable end. And that is basically what is involved with the roof tool. The cantilever tool allows us to extend the roof out over to create a covered area to form a veranda, as I've just done there. We can also make a fancy front entranceway by doing the same thing, and there you have it. Now as we can see here, we've got the posts shown in the black squares, and everything with the cantilever tool is the same as with the draw tool. So that means that we can take it and move it, move that one and that one, or we can select it and then select its dimension and alter its dimension to exact it, and that is the cantilever tool. Selecting the floor tool allows us to choose from either concrete or timber, meaning that we have a concrete foundation or a timber subfloor. With the room coverings, we have the choice of choosing between lino, tiles, polished concrete, carpet or not applicable, and we can also choose whether there's going to be a polystyrene insulation under the floor or not. Once we've got everything set just how we would like it to be, we've looked at our elevation pictures here on numerous occasions, no doubt to perfect it. Now we want to print ourselves out the 3-page preliminary design plan set. That is found with the elevation buttons here. We print on that, print PDF, and basically follow the prompts until it leads you through to your download. So as we see, it's being generated at the moment, and make sure that you read this information here because it's important to ensure that the scale of the plans is going to be correct. And then here it is downloading into our download folder. So once it's in there, we can click on that, go into the folder and access it from there to see our plans, which we'll just wait a moment for them to come up here and display themselves for us. So there's the cover page. Now you need to make sure that all of the information that you put into your project's page declarations is correct because it is reflected here on your cover page. And on page 2 we have the proposed floor plan that we've just drawn with all of the necessary information that goes with that. In particular up here we can see its floor size, and then lastly we have the elevation pictures there for you to scale and the information associated with them down here on the left hand column of the page. And that is the end of the short tutorial demonstration.